Hello, Adrian Logan here. You're very welcome to Healy Park in Omagh for this, the highlight of the Tyrone Club Championship. Errigal against Trillick, two of the heavyweights in this famous county. I'd like to take the opportunity as well to welcome all you viewers, thousands of people from all over the world, every continent, who have tuned in this season and last season to make Tyrone TV the real success story it's been. As I say, there's a huge crowd in Healy Park anticipating what could be a fantastic final against, you'd have to say, the two best sides in the county. They've made the final. Well, a man who knows all about winning titles is here alongside me. He's our co-commentator in the box later on, Joe McMahon, double All-Ireland winner. Joe, you know all about Healy Park. You know what it's like to play in front of a big crowd. The teams will respond to that today, won't they?
They certainly will. There's a great sense of anticipation here for a great game because, as you mentioned, they're both the form team. Trillick have travelled a route where they've been certainly challenged against no better team than the past county champions, Escalating, and Errigal Ciaran on the other side coming up against their own club, Omagh St Enda's and Carrickmore, who they beat in the semi-final. But certainly from my own experience coming here, it's just a matter of getting out and wanting to play at this stage.
And Joe, you'd have to say, whenever you look at the lineups, there's a little bit of magic dust virtually in every line of both teams. There
definitely is. I mean, speaking to Derry Gonley this morning, and they play both teams this year and in recent years, and they were talking about how much Errigal Ciaran are able to, around the field, carry the ball. They're so comfortable in possession of the football, and Trillick, how well organised they are, and equally they have the players to get on the ball and are comfortable in possession. And I mean, if you take for example the likes of P.D. Hart, Dara Canavan on one side, Lee Brennan, Rory Brennan, Richie Matty Donnelly, it just leaves itself for a very enjoyable occasion. But whilst we mention all of those star players, it's maybe an opportunity for other players to step in, and both sets of teams have that.
Interesting the way you assess both sides, which means that you could make a viable case for either team to come out on top of this. This is really a fantastic looking final.
It certainly is. I mean, if you look at set pieces, will play a major part here. You have P.D. Hart, who was exceptional in the semi-final against Carrickmore, very comfortable in any position of the field, taking a free kick, and likewise Lee Brennan from the ground. Those could be major. They could have a major impact on this game. And when you're looking up and you see Ian around the middle, Matty, Richie Donnelly driving from the middle, Ben McDonald driving from the middle, it'll come to the key matchups, I would imagine. You'll be looking at Stephen O'Donnell picking up Dara Canavan inside. Podge McAnally has been also impressive from Errigal Ciaran's point of view, will like to drive forward. Niall Kelly drops it deep in front of the defence. He likes to pick off any loose ball that's coming in, and they're both counter-attacking teams, similar styles of play. So I would imagine this game, as they settle into it, things will begin to unfold.
I'm going to let you go across and do your commentary. Tyrone TV's been a big success so far for you.
Huge. I've really enjoyed it, and it's massive that it reaches out to so many people that can't be here.
Well, Joe, I'm going to let you run across the commentary box, and we'll try and fill the space as Joe gets across to join Damien Harvey. But earlier today, obviously, great excitement, great anticipation. Here's the views from both camps ahead of this vital game.
Nigel, county final day, big day for your club, and one I'm sure you're really looking forward to.
It's one we've been trying to get back to for a number of years now, so it's good to get this far now, but tight challenge ahead now, all said and done.
You say a tight challenge ahead, and the fact that you probably go in as slight favourites as well, does that add to the pressure?
Well, it doesn't really. No. We know the challenge that's ahead of us, so, and people that have us favourites are outside the camp. We know ourselves that we have to perform to our very, very, very best, probably get a wee bit of rub of the green, and have everything go well for us, to come out the other side. That's the way these championship games are.
But you must be really pleased with the form of your team at the moment.
Well, the team has been growing over the last couple of years. There's we've had a couple of narrow defeats in championship matches, and they're continually growing. But when you get to this stage here, it's going that last bit, getting over the line, winning your championship, and that's what's in front of us today.
And preparations have gone well, and no injuries.
No, listen, no injuries, no nothing at all. We've prepared very well. We've given Errigal a lot of respect. We know their threats. We've prepared, just everybody's fit. And if we're beating the day, we're beating by a better team in the day.
And conditions, the drop of rain doesn't bother you?
No, same for both teams.
We wish you well. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Ciaran, county final day, a few minutes before throw-in. Preparations have gone well for Errigal, I would assume.
All well so far now, yeah. It's been a busy few weeks. Most championship comes thick and fast whenever Tyrone are knocked out. Our boys have prepared well now. The games have been reasonably well spaced for us. We had 3 weeks between the first round against English, and then a massive game against Oma. I suppose in Tyrone Championship, all these games they usually go right to the wire. There's 8-9 teams start of the year fancy themselves with having a great chance of winning the O'Neill Cup. It's not about being the top team in Tyrone. You only get that. You only really get to there for about maybe 10-11 months. It's about being in the top 8 or 9, because on any given year, on any given day, any one of those teams could pip you. Ourselves and Trillick well matched. Trillick probably slight favourites given the path they've taken. They've beaten a lot of the big teams. Dromore, Clonaux and Coal Island, a fancied Coal Island team, last year's champions. So we're under no illusions as to what the challenge that lies ahead of us today. But in the same regard, I think Trillick they won't be underestimating us either. Will be going.
I assume there's great hunger and determination on the side. Last time winners in 2012, defeated in 2017. Hungry to get back to the top table, I assume.
Absolutely, yeah. 2012, 7 years ago. It's I suppose it feels like a long time, but as I alluded to earlier, you have those 8-10 clubs that in any given year can reach the pinnacle of what they're capable of. I suppose you've had Dromore, Clonaux, Coal Island, Oma, Trillick, Killyclare, and ourselves over the last number of years have been year on year. It's a different challenger, you know. So preparations have gone well. We're looking forward to it. There's a good buzz about the parish and about the community, the schools, and that. And I'd say Trillick likewise they'll be relishing the challenge. So we'll give it everything.
We wish you well.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
I just love those pre-match interviews. Nobody gives too much away, but alongside me now, I'm delighted to say the county PRO, Eugene McConnell, Tyrone TV has really been your baby. It's been a huge success story.
Yes, Adrian, it certainly has been a phenomenal success. Year one, we probably, raised the bar in so many different ways. We set our goal to try and achieve and commentate and provide 5 live games via Tyrone TV. And we succeeded in doing that, and it's phenomenally successful. In the first year, we reached all 5 continents, 137 different countries across the world, 304 different cities, and God knows how many thousand Gaels that couldn't see the match were able to see it.
And Eugene, we can't do it without sponsors for Tyrone TV, sponsors indeed for the championship as well.
Absolutely, we're very lucky in Tyrone that we have people that are prepared to dip into their pocket and support Tyrone, and we're lucky in LCC Group have come on board to support the Tyrone Championship. This is their 2nd year, and then from the Tyrone TV, the GA TV point of view, this year Benny O'Hanlon and Todd's Leap have come on board, and they've provided a financial injection to be able to do this and to be able to provide such a high standard of profile of our games right across the world, and it's through the likes of these people that we're able to do that, Adrian.
Yeah, Eugene, I tell you what, listen, we can't wait for the start of this game. What a game we have in prospect. Let's go across now and pick up the important man in our commentary team, Joe McMahon. He sprinted across the pitch to link up with the one and only Damien Harvey.
Thanks very much, Logie. Good afternoon and welcome from the commentary box here in Healy Park for the live coverage of this 2019 LCC Tyrone Senior Football Championship final. This, of course, is Errigal's 3rd senior appearance in this decade, having lost out to Oma in 2017 and beaten Dromore in 2012. Trillick have just one appearance this decade, winning the title in 2015. And this is that was their first final, of course, that 2015 final since the 1987 when a gap of some 28 years. But it hasn't taken them 28 years to get back to another final. And I'm delighted to say Joe McMahon has made his way across the field, and he's alongside me now. Joe, that's probably the hardest workout I've seen you this year.
It's a bit harder than a pair of jeans as well, and the extra winter gear that I'm wearing these days. But no, it's great to be here and be part of an occasion, and to possibly witness a great game, because we've seen Trillick throughout the championship have certainly been the form team and tipped as a lot of people's favourites, and with good reason, with the performance they put in. Certainly the last day against Coal Island, many would have said that it was the best championship game that they've seen in years, and they'll take a lot of confidence from that. But Errigal aren't here just to make up the numbers. They have quality all over the pitch, very comfortable in possession. Will take probably disappointment from 2017 getting beat by Oma St Enda's, but certainly we'll want to rectify that.
Absolutely, we're going to go in and take a wee look at the Errigal team as we have it and see it here today. Don't see any change. Well, I see actually a number 17 there. Cormac Quinn looks like he's joined the parade. But we'll take the team as we have it on the screen. So it's Darragh McAnanley in goals. It's a full back line, as you can see there, of Aidan McCrory, who I'm not sure is Aidan starting. He is. He's wearing number 3 there, just checking on the field, alongside Kieran Quinn and Asher McDermott. Stephen Tierney, Niall Kelly and Peter O'Hanlon, plenty of experience there. But the midfield pair, Ben McDonnell and Owen Kelly, two quite young players in the middle of the field there. Pádraig McAnally at wing half forward has had a big influence in this year's championship alongside captain Peter Hart. And then up front, of course, then the danger men, Dara Canavan and Owen Robinson, and no doubt Ronan McCrory in their wing half forward as well will have a big contribution. But I'm just checking, Joe, who has that changed, do we think? Looks like corner back maybe.
Mark Kavanagh here is coming to corner forward, I think, for Dara Canavan, we can see in the forward line. And it seems to be Cormac Quinn has come in for Damien McDermott.
It looks like Damien McDermott has made his way, won't start either. So we'll go to the Trillick team as it has been shown to us. So we've got the Trillick team just coming up on your screen now. Yes, Niall McCormick. I think it's Joe Maguire. Is it? I would just double check. It's Joe Maguire in goals. It's the full back line. That's. I tell you what, folks. That's the Moy team that's come up there on the Trillick line out there. So we'll pop out of that, and I'll just give you the Trillick team as we have it here. It's Joe Maguire definitely in goals. Stephen O'Donnell in the full back line alongside Rory Kelly and Damien Kelly. Michael Gallagher is the man at wing half back alongside Dara Gallagher at centre half back, and Rory Brennan. It's Richard Donnelly and Gavin McCarran in the midfield area, and it's Matty Donnelly, Niall Donnelly and Ryan Gray at wing half forward. Liam Gray is at midfield at corner forward alongside Lee Brennan, of course, not 15 in this year's championship so far, and James Gardy's the man who will play at corner forward. We're, as they say, the teams making their way around the field at the minute. They have lined up, of course, way across on the far side, the Errigal men and the Trillick team just operating on or lining up along just outside their dugouts. But county final days are an extremely brilliant experience from our players' perspective, Joe.
Yeah, this is all part of the occasion for the supporters to salute the players and how well they've done to get to this occasion. But as a player, your total focus now at this stage is getting into the game and what your job is and the task in hand. And these fellas, the hearts will be racing. I would imagine they'll have targets to meet in the first 10 minutes, and the team that settles into this game will certainly settle a lot of nerves.
No doubt about it. As the two teams make their way behind the Clough End band away across on the far side. I know there's a lot of people listening from all around the world. We spent a few days out in New York over the last wee while there, and I want to give our thanks, of course, to our hosts out there, Faye Devlin and Mickey Coleman, who organised plenty of activity for the lads over the last few days and are so generous in their support for Tyrone GA. We'll be giving a name check to a few of the rest of the guys later on, but the two teams have made their way toward their respective alongside their respective panels, and we're almost lining up now for Aran Naveen. Nerves, no doubt, will be a factor that both teams will have to deal with. But there's plenty of experience on both sides, and they've been in recent finals, so there's a lot of experience there to deal with that, Joe.
Yeah, they can draw on those experiences, and they certainly have that in both ranks. Trillick were coming in as a young team in 2015. Maybe we're not expected to come in out with the right end of the result, but they did, and they'll take a lot of heart from that. But Errigal will certainly have plenty of experience to draw upon within their panel as well.
Well, we'll go across to Kieran McDade away on the far side, who has just called for a moment's silence for everybody who has passed away from Tyrone GA in the last year. Always a nice touch at the beginning of all county finals. Remember those who have sadly passed away in the last 12 months. And now we'll have a round of Ian. So the preliminaries are almost over and we're almost ready to go for the 2019 LCC Tyrone Senior Football Championship here in Healy Park in Omagh, and both sides, as I say, just making their way to the huddles. And those late changes on that Errigal team, just to confirm them, Damien McDermott will not start. It looks like Cormac Quinn's in along with Mark Kavanagh in place of Dara Canavan, who is on the bench as well. Tactical decision, obviously, Joe.
Yeah, without a doubt, Mark Kavanagh actually came in against Omagh in the quarter-finals, and he performed well and performed well the last day against Carrickmore. So certainly an informed player. Cormac Quinn, a young player, has come in and certainly has played a big part in Errigal and how they set up, and fortuitous as well from Eddie McCrory's point of view. Wouldn't say fortuitous, but he's lucky to be starting after missing a couple of initial games with that injury. So it'll be interesting to see how he holds up in the first part of this game.
Two sides with a huge history coming into this game. Of course, both sides with 7 senior football championships apiece, and Errigal, of course, defeating Eglish, Omagh and Carrickmore on their way to the final, while Trillick had their neighbours Dromore, Clonoe and of course Killyland in that thrilling semi-final to overcome before they reached today's decider. Eamon McHugh is the man in the middle, and no doubt there'll be a touch of nerves, of course, with the officials as well. It's a big occasion for them as well.
It'll be interesting to see how Eamon refs this. Playing when Eamon's reffing, sometimes would like to see the game flow a bit more, and certainly he would like to stamp his authority in the game. But if this is a game that's let flow, the advantage is played, we're in for a very good spectacle.
Well, you're very welcome, folks, wherever you are around the world. It's Tyrone Senior Football Championship final day, and it's a very important day in any calendar, and no doubt we are looking forward to an absolutely thrilling encounter here. Eamon McHugh just blesses himself ahead of this one, and the ball is up and we're underway here in Healy Park. And who will be crowned 2019 champions? It's the men from Errigal that get the early touches here, and is into the hands of Stephen Tierney, who launches it forward into that inside forward line, looking for that early opportunity for a score. But it's Joe Maguire who comes out, tidies up possession and moves it away out that far side over there, where Trillick can have it now in the hands of Gallagher away across that far side. Niall Donnelly's immediately into the action, gives it out to midfielder there, Richard Donnelly, but it's now in the hands quickly of Liam Gray, trying to get the ball through the hands of Michael Gallagher. Gallagher to Lee Brennan, back into the hands of Liam Gray once again, tries to move the ball forward into that inside corner forward area where Ryan Gray is operating. He's got possession, he tries to go across that 13-metre line, but his route is blocked. Early touches now for I was going to say the previous captain of this team that won a championship, Matthew Donnelly. And once again, Trillick on the attack. Ryan Gray with the first opportunity for a score, and he's opened the score line here in Healy Park, and what a well-worked point, too.
Yeah, very patient. Errigal initially won the ball from the throw-in, got the ball up front, turned over, and then we saw as they attacked the stand side, things weren't happening for them. They were happy to switch the ball, and from Ryan Gray getting on this side of the pitch, then he found himself on the opposite side of the pitch and kicks a lovely score.
Dara McAnanley has the ball on the 13-metre line. First kick out for him of the afternoon. Launches it right down the centre of the field, and Richard Donnelly's lurking there to try and win possession, but it goes up and the ball's broken free, and initially Richard Donnelly got enough hands on it to force it out towards Gavin McCarran, who soccer styles it forward into the hands of Niall Donnelly. Donnelly under spot of pressure over there, trying to move the ball back towards Matty Donnelly. He just calms the situation down and carries it out towards that 65-metre line. Plays it back in towards Rory Brennan. Brennan now in possession of the ball. His first touch of the game as well into his brother Lee. Lee comes out, and he's just a bit slack in possession there, but he's managed to win possession back for Trillick, and he's on the attack now, and he's facing the right road, and he kicks it up high, and it's kicked it through the post and over the bar. And Lee Brennan, 15 points in the championship this year. You can add a 16th. Another score is going to Trillick, and what a good start for them.
Yeah, first 2 minutes on the board, they're settling themselves nicely into the game. A couple of lads are bouncing the ball maybe when the occasion doesn't lend itself to that, as we can see the conditions, but Lee found himself lucky in that occasion that the ball slipped back into the hands again and kicks a lovely score from outside the
the surface is slippy, but there's not the wind isn't really playing much of an influence on the game. It's a ball now into the hands of McAnanley. Podge McAnanley down this near side, easily picked out with those red boots today. Now out towards that man Cormac Quinn going forward. Cormac Quinn bottled up there by the Trillick men, and here comes Matty Donnelly tried to pick it up, but Eamon McHugh spotted an infringement in there, and it is a free to Trillick that they take it very quickly into the hands of Matty Donnelly. Plays it across the field of play, and where Dara Gallagher picks it up, and he's able to find Niall Donnelly across the far side. He'll be a busy operator this afternoon, no doubt about it. He moves forward into that inside forward line. Trillick just throwing the ball around. They're just happy to hold possession. Briefly into the hands now of its Matty Donnelly, who, as I said, captained the side the last time they reached the county decider. Stephen O'Donnell's the man who will captain the side, who captains the side this afternoon. Liam Gray has it. 45 metres away from the goals. So is he trying to play in Gallagher? No, he's just happy and content just to run the ball and bring in another player, and that's Lee Brennan. Brennan moves it into the hands of Michael Gallagher, who just ghosted up that right hand side and wasn't picked up, and Gallagher has an opportunity to kick a point, and has he got it? He absolutely has. Wasn't picked up, Joe. Michael Gallagher just ghosted up that right hand side, and it's 3 points to nil, and what a start for Trillick.
On that occasion there, we've seen that Errigal had dropped 14 men behind the ball, and whilst they had 14 men behind the ball, Michael Gallagher found himself free. He kept the width to the attack, and then as the ball drifted to this side, he came in off the wing and quite comfortably kicked it over the right foot, and a great score. Well,
Trillick have 3 shots on goal so far on target. They've all gone over, no wides in the game so far, as Ciaran Quinn picks up possession for Errigal Ciaran and plays it out to the man wearing number 22, Kavanagh. Mark Kavanagh back into his wing half back there, Peter O'Hanlon. Short pass out towards midfielder Ben McDonald. Trying to go forward now. McDonald making good progress right towards the edge of the D. Gives it back to Peter Hart, who's immediately tackled there, but he managed to get possession away into the hands of Ronan McCrory. McCrory away out to that far side where Stephen Tierney picks it up. Now back into the hands of full forward Darren Canavan. And a long ball has been launched into that inside forward line. Once again, I want to win one in there, and it's there's a chance here for wing half forward McAnally to get a score. He gives it back to Peter Hart, and Peter Hart takes the opportunity. And interestingly, Joe, there was a one-on-one situation in there where I think it was Podge McAnally run across to try and win possession of the ball over the head of Michael Gallagher. They sort of exposed that a wee bit, didn't they?
Yeah, it was the switch play, and it just took out so many players, and Podge McAnally
there's a chance here, and it could go to the net, and it has gone to the net. And what a start for Oren Robinson. He's the man that has got the goal for he's got the goal for Errigal Ciaran, and a huge mistake by Joe Maguire in the goals.
A massive mistake, but full credit. Robinson put the pressure on. He wasn't happy just to let him get the ball and decide what he wanted to do. He put the pressure on, he turned him over and got the goal. But what a great response from Errigal Ciaran. But initially their score coming from P.D. Hart was a great switch play, took out so many players. Podge McAnally, he raised the highest, he won the ball, and just for a split second we thought there was a goal chance on, but slipped it out to PD, and with a great score. So great response from Errigal Ciaran.
Superb response, a goal and a point for Errigal Ciaran, 3 points for the men from Trillick, and Trillick just sort of knocked the wind out of them slightly there as Rory Brennan catches the ball in midfield, gives it towards Matty Donnelly. He just jams the situation down just over the 65 metre line. Has an option to play the ball away across the far side, and it's been won over there by midfielder McCarran, who just prods the ball forward into the hands of Niall Donnelly. Brings in Brennan momentarily, now with Gallagher. Gallagher plays it out towards Brennan. Brennan carries it towards that 45 metre line, looking for an inside forward pass where Gardy's in there. Gardy comes out, wins possession of the ball, back into the hands of Brennan once again. Has an outlet pass, but what a superb pass that is in towards Michael Gallagher from a very narrow angle. And this time Gallagher's shot goes out to the left of the post and goes wide for the first wide of the game. It's we've had to wait 6.5 or just almost 7 minutes for the opening wide of the game. But 18-year-old Oren Robinson has he's made a big impact on this championship. He made a big impact in the game against Omagh, Joe, and he's made a big impact already in this one. First touch of the ball, he's soccer style to the net.
Yeah, he has. He's a great fielder of a ball. He's good in possession. He's comfortable, and it was just the sheer pressure that he was putting on Joe Maguire. Joe caught himself, was caught out, and to be able then to finish the ball from about 20 metres out, he done very well, and will certainly settle him into the game.
Possession is Owen Kelly's momentarily. Plays the ball forward. He's looking for that option up ahead of him, and the one Ronan McCrory provides him with it. Now in towards Darren Canavan. Darren turns onto the right boot, kicks it up high in the air, and well, we waited a wee while on the opening Trillick wide, and it's been quickly followed by an Errigal Ciaran one. Joe Maguire has already the ball moved out towards Richard Donnelly now, out towards that 45 metre line. Donnelly looking for brother Matty, and he just clips it across towards Ryan Gray, or Liam Gray rather. Liam Gray carries the ball forward, a man that has also made a big impact on the championship despite only being 19 years of age. It's Matty Donnelly picks up possession, gives it towards Gallagher once again, who's been very busy and doesn't seem to be marked at the minute, Joe. I'm just looking at some of the matchups out there. Maybe you're keeping an eye on some of them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, we can see Kieran Quinn's tracking Matty Donnelly, and around the middle Ben McDonald has Richie Donnelly, Rory Brennan, he's taking out Petey Hart, but Errigal are just setting a lot of men inside the 45 and are let some of those players run free and are happy to track other men.
Yeah, as the possessions move forward towards Niall Donnelly once again, Jinxon weaves, turns onto that left boot, but that's a team effort that's going to be easily handled by Dara McAnanley, and Errigal Ciaran can move possession out this near side. When that wasn't the quickest kick in the world, but it went into the hands of Peter Hart. Hart goes past Garrity and moves it out now towards midfielder Owen Kelly. Just moves the ball into that towards Kieran Quinn. Kieran Quinn not afraid to go forward, moving possession into that inside forward line, gives it to the goal scorer, but he's under severe pressure, and you can see how quickly Rory Kelly closed him down, Joe.
Yeah, that's a great facet of the Trillick game, is their ability to go in, close you down, turn you over and break out at pace, and if Errigal continue to do that, Trillick will only be too happy to soak it up.
Yeah, they certainly could, as Matty Donnelly goes on the attack once again for Trillick, carries it towards that 45 metre line and beyond, and Trillick looking for the next scoring opportunity through Ryan Gray, who's already got a point in the game. Now back with Matty Donnelly. Nice little pass in towards Garrity. Garrity wins possession out in front of Aidan McCrory. Lovely turn from Garrity out onto that left boot, and he's kicked it in and over the bar. Sides are level, and I think we're going to be saying that for a few more times before the end of this one.
Yeah, for all the people, the men that both teams have in the ball, it's pretty open. Their space is there. They're exploiting that. Matty Donnelly with a great inside pass. Errigal had numbers behind the ball, but he still managed to find that pass inside the D to Garrity. Garrity dummied a couple of times and then was happy to take the score on himself, and with a great score and a good start for him.
10 minutes gone in the game. We've had 6 scores so far, all from play, and it's setting up to be a real good encounter as the ball is out now in the hands of Aidan McCrory. Looking for options up ahead of him. Podge McAnanley's providing one, and then he launches in towards Canavan. Darren Canavan comes out to that left hand side and back into the hands of McAnanley once again, and he was in two minds there, and that's why he just the Blues lost possession really, but he's won the 45 because Trillick really didn't tidy it up that well. Yeah. And you could see he was in two minds there, Joe, and that's what caused that half kick.
It was a Peter Lahern solo from years ago, remember, against Fermanagh in the championship, but it was a case of I think possibly it could have been a free out as he dived on the ball, and I think it was Michael Gallagher maybe he took to the ground, but a resulting 45. And you know, the opening 10 minutes is everything that we expected from both teams. Good quality football, good score taken, and a good start to this game.
Petey Hart has the ball on the 45 metre line. He scored 115 coming into today's game. He's a point scorer already from play, and he'd be hoping to add this 45 metre kick into just a very slight breeze coming out of that Killybrack Road into the ground. And he just kicks it out to the right of the post and wide, and you can hear the Trillick fans behind the goal down there in full appreciation of the wide there, but with almost 12 minutes gone, it's sides level, and it's a kick out from Maguire, and I've a feeling he'll be going along with these kick outs from now on. Good punch on that midfield area. Aidan McCrory knocked it down, but it's only into the hands of the Trillick men, and they've got possession near to Dara Gallagher. Feeds it out this near side. Liam Gray's operating here, very close to the sideline, but he's able to move possession deep into the heart of that, or deep into the Errigal Ciaran defence. Gallagher picks it up, gives it towards Donnelly. Donnelly just eases possession back into the hands of his cornerback and captain Stephen O'Donnell. Stephen O'Donnell sees a small gap on the 45 metre line where Richie Donnelly takes possession. On to George Gallagher, back into the hands of Richie Donnelly once again. Garrity's there if he needs him. He's got possession now into the back with Rory Brennan. Niall Donnelly once again has a wee bit of space just to move forward, gives it to the shooter. The shooter is Lee Brennan, getting out way to that far side. Back into the hands of Brennan once again, moving towards the D, and a short pass towards Ryan Gray, who kicks it up high in the air, and he's kicked it out to the right of the post and wide, 2 wides apiece now in the game. But you can see the intent of Trillick just to work the right scoring opportunity.
Yeah, especially when Errigal have so many players behind the ball, and they talk about opportunity. There's opportunities here when a player's been tracked, a man marked by a player, and his run takes and creates space. It's an opportunity for that man on the ball to go into that space, and there are opportunities for then him to kick the score. And if Trillick take more of that and use more of that, they could get more scores on the board.
McCrory gives it short towards Stephen Tierney. Tierney now on towards Kieran Quinn. Kieran Quinn, very positive forward running corner back. Ball now with Podge McAnally. Under spotter pressure, but he's managed just to get the ball towards McDonald. Out to his midfield partner, Owen Kelly. In fact, that was Mark Cavan across from the far side, apologies. That's now into the hands of Darren Canavan. Canavan now with McDonald. On to the man wearing 17, Cormac Quinn. And P.D. Hart links with him, and it's back in the hands of Quinn once again. Just edging towards the D. Gives it to McDonald. McDonald's a wee bit of space if he wants to run towards that D. Good run it is, but he's moving further away from goals now at this stage. Owen Robinson off the right boot, kicks it up high, and he's kicked another wide for Errigal. And after that bright start in the game, it's become a little bit disjointed and messy in terms of the shooting opportunities.
Yeah, it has. And both teams, something's very noticeable here. We talked about it before in the pre-match about the armoury that both teams have. P.D. Hart has free kicks and Lee Brennan's free kicks. I'm not sure if there's been any free kicks worth note that have been scoring opportunities, and that's the discipline of both defences. Yeah,
they are both defences won't give away the silly frees. It's now into the hands of Matthew Donnelly. His brother Richie is up ahead of him. He's got it in his hands now. Looking for Matty once again. Just eases it back out towards James Gardy, who in turn plays Gallagher in once again. Gallagher gives it towards O'Donnell, and O'Donnell on towards Rory Brennan. Brennan moves across towards Matty Donnelly once again. Matty Donnelly looking for a positive run forward, and it's now in the hands of Derek Gallagher. Derek Gallagher looking for his wing half back there, Rory Brennan, who makes good progress. But he's bottled up, and Errigal Ciaran, it looked like he touched it on the ground in there, but referee Eamon McHugh says there's no issue as Aidan McCrory comes out to try and ease the Errigal Ciaran pressure. And he's given the possession has been turned over. Peter O'Hanlon just caught in possession there. It's now with Derek Gallagher once again into the hands of Lee Brennan. Not much room to operate in there, but it looks like cornerback has found one, Damien Kelly, and Damien Kelly's kicked it out to the right of the post and wide, and it's 3 wides apiece now in the game, and the scoreline remains unaffected. It's still Errigal a goal and a point. Trillick 4 points.
Yeah, things pretty even, and that was an occasion where Kelly thought the space had opened up for him, and he was able to take the shot just outside the D. Very unlucky, but Trillick are getting so far inside the 45, and then they're meeting another line of defence from Errigal, and they don't have an extra runner coming off the shoulder, and they're having to turn back, and that slows up their attack.
Podge McAnally takes it out towards the 65 metre line. The Trillick 65 metre line gives it now towards Cormac Quinn. Quinn back towards McAnally, and he plays it now towards Kieran Quinn. Now with the midfielder Owen Kelly. Kelly brings Quinn back into it once again. And it's just sort of a settling period now after that initial burst at the start. Niall Kelly picks it up once again, and it's almost a pedestrian pace now, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunities there for Errigal players to eat up grass, but they're just holding possession. They're trying to wait for the runner as we watch Errigal or Trillick dropping a man behind the ball, and a wee injection pace just opens the space for them.
Good defending once again from Rory Kelly, come out to stop that attack. Mark Kavanagh picks it up. The bright luminous yellow boots away across on the far side, and Errigal trying to work another shooting opportunity. This time they elect to go long into that inside forward line, but Derek Gallagher was there to try and knock possession away, but they've won it to Errigal Ciaran. Is that Stephen Tierney way across on the far side? It's gone out to the right of the posts, and it's gone wide number 4, and a succession of wides, and just a wee bit of composure required.
Yeah, there's one way of beating the blanket defence, and it's playing that long ball in, and a couple of times Errigal have played the long ball in, and it's worked for them. Unlucky on that occasion it didn't go over the bar, but something to look at and continue with because it's worked well for them.
Matty Donnelly takes possession towards the 65 metre line. Donnelly has Rory Brennan there if he wants to use him, but Niall Donnelly's up ahead of him. Now he plays a 1-2 with him, back into the hands of Matty Donnelly. Kieran Quinn trying to stop his run forward. But he looks out to this near side where he has got Damien Kelly in support. Kelly can give it to Brennan. Brennan can feed it further back out the field to play into the hands of Dara Gallagher. And Errigal Ciaran, all bar one player inside their 65-metre line. They've gone into that zonal defence. It's now with Matty Donnelly. Rory Brennan. Brennan into the hands of Gray. Great short pass to Kelly. A very patient build-up once again from the men from Trillick. As they got possession now towards Richie Donnelly. Can Richie Donnelly find the killer pass inside? Just ambles towards that 45-metre line. And once again Trillick won't just kick ball away. They're looking for the right option. It's now Willie Brennan. Now he's got Niall Donnelly on that outside, and Dara Gallagher's looked into a good position. He's moved into that wing half forward, and he might just pull the trigger from over there. He doesn't. He gives it towards Brennan once again, and they go on the attack, trying to look for that scoring opportunity. But well, Richie Donnelly just caught or it was Ryan Gray actually caught in possession there, Joe.
Yeah, I think Trillick played into Errigal hands there. The attack on that occasion was very ponderous. They were taking the ball standing, not breaking any lines, and Errigal were only too happy to close Gray up because they had no options, nobody coming off the shoulder. He turned back and he felt himself turned over, and that's probably been the highlight of the last 5-10 minutes from both teams. Very slow in their attack, and both defences are on top from it.
Cormac Quinn just tries to move the ball forward. Ryan Kelly once again out in front. Superb defending from the Trillick man. Now with Rory Brennan. Now into the hands of Liam Gray. Liam Gray has got a bit of grass to move into, and he just shrugs away from the tackle, gives it towards Lee Brennan. He's fouled there right in front of referee Eamon McHugh, and I think Aidan McCrory is going to pick up a booking here, is he?
He could count himself lucky if he gets away with it. He was sort of wide open.
Just a tick in the book, so nothing more than that. And Lee Brennan will have the free just beyond that 45-metre line, as you can see. 48 metres out or so.
Yeah, other than the 45 from PD Hart, this is the only real opportunity we've seen from both free takers, and it's well within his locker to be able to kick the score. But you know, from the first 10 minutes with a blizzard of scores, and now things have slowed up. We've seen 4 wides from Errigal, 3 from Errigal Ciaran. Probably decision making has let both teams down. Their attacks, the pace or lack of pace from both attacks have let them down, and it's something that they need to look at, because if this game continues the way it is, we're in for a very close finish, and I'm sure it's something that both management teams will address at half time.
Yeah, Lee Brennan sets that ball 48 metres out, right in front of the Gorton Road goals, kicks it up high, and has he found his range? He absolutely has. He's nailed that from 48 metres, and Lee Brennan's got his second score of the game, this time from a free.
Yeah, you can see why both defences don't want to give away those easy free kicks, because Lee Brennan from outside the 45, that's his bread and butter, and he certainly has that quality. And if you're going to set so many players behind the ball and play a defensive system, it's redundant if you're going to give away those easy frees.
Yeah, kick out from McAnally hasn't gone to Errigal hands, it's gone to Richie Donnelly, who tidies it up, and here comes Niall Donnelly now with Matty Donnelly. 65 metres away from goals, into the hands of Rory Brennan, who did well to control it. Looks for Gardy inside him. Gardy runs across field, but he gives away possession, and now it can be tidied up by Petey Hart, who just moves the ball forward out towards Podge McAnally, just down in front of us here. McAnally carries it out towards the 65-metre line and beyond, heading in towards that Trillick defence, but he's stopped well there by Gallagher, who stuck to his task, but McAnally managed to get past him at the second time, and Eamon McHugh just calls the free as Stephen Tierney takes a slug of water, and Errigal go once again on the attack now with Ben McDonald. McDonald heading down towards the centre of that Trillick defence, but gives the ball towards Peter Hart. Hart 45 metres away from goals, just looking for options, and the option is Stephen Tierney. It's now with Owen Kelly, and into the hands now of Ronan McCrory. McCrory back towards Kelly. Is Kelly going to have a shot on goals? He is indeed. He kicks it up high, but immediately he turned away, and that is wide, number 5. And Joe, it is quite worrying from an Errigal Ciaran perspective, in that, bar the gifted goal, really, they've only scored 1 point, and that has come from Peter Hart.
Yeah, you can see him once they miss the threat of Dara Canavan inside. They're looking up. Darragh Canavan, Owen Robinson maybe not getting the movement they'd like to have and find the ball inside. And the couple of occasions I mentioned, kicking the long ball in has worked for them. Maybe something to look at for the remainder of the half.
Yeah, it's Matty Donnelly has it just down in front of us here, and now into the hands of Michael Gallagher. Lee Brennan back towards Donnelly. Darragh Gallagher's alongside him if he wants them, and he picks it up and heads away across towards the stand side. And Gallagher, who's more than happy to join the attack on any occasion, gives it now towards Brennan, Rory Brennan. Once again, the link man is Donnelly. Being pursued by Kieran Quinn, but Donnelly just clips it away across to the far side where Gallagher has it once again. And he passes it to this near side into the hands of Liam Gray. Gray making good progress off the outside of the right boot, this one. And has he got the score? No, it's gone out to the right of the post and wide. So that's wide number 9 in the game. Their 4th wide for Trillick. Errigal with 5. And the whole thing has just sort of gone into a bit of a plateau at this stage, hasn't it?
Yeah, Trillick have had quite a bit of the possession in this first half, and there's possession, but there's possession with purpose. They're holding the ball back outside the 45. The only times maybe in that, Gray ran through, that wee injection of pace just opened that bit of space for him. If they did more of that, and likewise Errigal, they would find those wee pockets to create those scoring opportunities, but they're just very ponderous in possession, holding, solo and standing, not going anywhere, and it's certainly showing within this game.
Mark Kavanagh gives it towards Peter Hart. Hart thought about giving it back to Kavanagh, but went against that idea. And once again, he looks up, and his options are limited going forward there. McCrory now with Darren Canavan, just inside that 45 metre line, but there's a wall of red up ahead of him. Gives it to Woods Podge McInerney. Can he unlock this Trillick defence? He hasn't managed to create a shooting opportunity as yet. Gives it back towards Stephen Tierney. And a long crossfield pass to look for a different angle of attack is now in the hands of Peter O'Hanlon. Now with McCrory. Ronan McCrory. And now further back out the field to play is Niall Kelly. And once again it's into the hands of Owen Kelly, but what's happening from an Errigal's perspective, Joe?
Looking inside, their movement is limited. If you're in there and you're not getting the ball, you need to get out again and create the space for somebody else. They're standing, they're looking at each other, and they're taking up space that Trillick are only too happy for them to be there with, and they certainly need to be bringing something more to their attack at this point.
Yeah, this will be suiting Trillick down to the ground as the shot eventually does come in, and once again it's out to the right of the post, and it's wide, and it's Errigal Ciaran's 6th wide of the opening half. And I'm just looking across the far side there, and Tiffany Quinn alongside Pascal Canavan and Fintan Devlin. They've got plenty to think about.
They definitely do, and as I say, if you look up and you see Errigal have 3 and 4 and 5 players inside the D and inside the 20, but nothing's really happening. There's no movement. They're not moving, coming running for the ball. They're not looping in round like Trillick were doing in the first 10 minutes, and they're not asking questions of Trillick. They're making the defensive duties very easy, and they need to bring more pace to their attack.
Here comes Matty Donnelly looking for Lee Brennan. Lee Brennan just soccer styles it across the field to play, trying to get it into Trillick hands again. Good work there from corner back Damien Kelly to win the dirty ball on that occasion. And another free to Trillick, which is going to be taken by Lee Brennan, but he'll not be scoring from there. He's out beyond the 65 metre line, and he's looking for a crossfield pass, which he has moved across to the far side into the hands of his brother Rory. Once again, Trillick just trying to play the ball forward. Wasn't the greatest pass in the world from Rory, and I think after that, well, he can count himself lucky he's not on the book, I think, for that one, but I think he was maybe suggesting that the Errigal player made a lot of it, and maybe that's what Eamon McHugh's suggesting as well.
I think he did. He hand gestured to get himself up. I'm not sure whether Owen Kelly could have been looking for that. Rory initially giving away the ball from an easy hand pass, and probably the frustrations got the better of him when he wanted to close him down, and to maybe you see the linesman now maybe asking questions. But
Shane Doherty's moved in there to consult with Eamon McHugh, and Rory Brennan is now making his way across to have a conversation with Eamon McHugh. And Eamon McHugh flashes up the yellow card. So Rory Brennan, first man to be booked in the game. And Errigal Ciaran just collect possession inside their own half of the field and to try and set up an attack. A real meaningful attack was something that they need. It's into the hands of Peter Hart. Going forward. Now he reaches the 45-metre line, and this is where the Errigal Ciaran's troubles have been arising, but possession is back into the hands of Hart once again. Now it was Kavanagh. Mark Kavanagh elects to take on the shot, and once again skews off the outside of the left boot, and it's wide. And I'm not too sure. I think that might be. I know that's 7 wides, but I wonder if it's 7 wides in a row from Errigal Ciaran. I think it may well be.
It wouldn't be far off it, and that was a percentage shot from Kavanagh there. He looked up, there was no options, and he decided to take the shot on, and disappointing from an Errigal point of view that they're not working the ball into better positions to get those scores.
The ball's been collected in the midfield area, knocked down by Richie into the hands of Rory Brennan over there, but it's now progressed up that far sideline into the hands of Lee Brennan. It brings Niall Donnelly into play. Brennan picks it up, and there's an off the ball challenge, and the nearest man to him was Aidan McCrory. It's Niall Donnelly's gone to ground, and Shane Doherty is the linesman on the far side, and it's going to be 1 additional minute at the end of this first half. We've had just 30 seconds to go, as you can see on the clock.
Yeah, I think was it Jib Donnelly might have done a body check. I'm not sure if it was him, but anyway, one of the Trillick players done a body check, and Aidan McCrory stopped him from coming across, cutting out the run, tracking Lee Brennan, and to get him out of his way, he was probably overzealous and possibly a yellow card. Well, the noting is going on at the minute, and Aidan McCrory becomes Errigal's first player to go into the book, and this play has been restarted, and it's now with captain Stephen O'Donnell, who just moves the ball forward into the hands of Gardaí. Back now with Lee Brennan, off the left boot into the hands of Derek Gallagher. This is Rory Brennan out the near side here towards Richie, and then Richie Donnelly into the hands of Michael Gallagher. Gallagher back to Donnelly. Donnelly running across that 45-metre line, but not making any inroads into this Errigal Ciaran defence at the moment. Now with Derek Gallagher. Has an option up ahead of him in grey, but he elects against that one and gives it back towards his captain Stephen O'Donnell. And we've 50 seconds of the additional minute played already. And Trillick, will they get another shooting opportunity before the break? I think not. And that's the last action here of the opening half. And Joe, we thought we were going to have a real cracking game here after the first 10 minutes, but it has gone into a dip, and both sides still trying to suss each other out, really, aren't they? I think so. Maybe that was something that you would look at in the first 10 minutes, how the game has petered out in this first half, settling into the game. But I mean, the fast start that we had, the score taken, the movement, the pace, was everything that we come to expect from both these teams. But as the game went on in the first half, all of those things stopped, and the scoring stopped. The white count went up, the turnovers went up, and probably disappointing. I would imagine both teams there'll be a lot of discussion about those stats at half time. And as you mentioned in the commentary, other than the turnover ball for Moran Robinson and a fortuitous goal, Errigal really have only that one score on the board from their own Robinson or Peter Hart getting the score. And I mean, listen. I can appreciate county final day, the nerves are there, but at this stage of the game you would imagine they'd be well past you, and you would looking to get yourself settled, and a lot of work to do at half time.
Well, there's much to ponder for the likes of Pascal Canavan, Tiffy Quinn, Finton Devlin, Joe Canavan and Kieran Hart in that Errigal Ciaran dressing room. The men from Trillick under Nigel Seeley, Liam Donnelly, Malachy McElhone, Brian O'Keehan, Declan Campbell and Conor Daly. Well, they'll be maybe slightly more happier in the fact that they've been slightly more efficient in front of goals, but the scoreline at half time here in Healy Park is just that slender 1 point lead for the men from Trillick over Errigal Ciaran. 5 points, plays 1 goal and a point, And I think we're almost ready to go across for an interview on the far side, just awaiting the okay for that one. But we're ready to roll with that. And I think Logie's talking to County Chairman Mickey Kerr.
Well, welcome back to here. Listen, pitch side at half time. You can see the scores, a very tactical affair. Alongside me, our County Chairman, Michael Kerr. Michael, it is a very tactical occasion in between these two sides. They know each other well.
They know each other well. Trillick had a great start, and then Errigal got a goal, got back into it, and it's been like a game of chess since. It's been up on one side, but the defences on both sides are dominating, and it's taken long shots from far out, and they haven't been accurate yet. So maybe the second half will improve in the quality. But
look, we all like to, to look at county football and stuff like that, but the club football is very important. Very important to everybody here in Tyrone too. You'd agree with that?
Well, the club football where everybody are born and reared, and that's where you have to go back to. Last weekend we had two brilliant club matches here, the junior final and the intermediate final. Two neighbouring parishes pitted against each other and with a feast of football. Now, today there's a lot at stake, and it's understandable. Nobody wants to give anything away. That's the way it is. But there's 14 other senior clubs would give their right hand to be in here today. The two clubs that's here, they'll not care what kind of a game it is, as long as they get over the line. So it's understandable.
And you're going to have to leave it very soon, because you have to go and do a bit of hospitality with some of the people who are big sponsors as well for the county board here today.
Yeah, very much so. Today we're lucky with this streaming's our second year. It's been a great success, and it's a credit to all those that involved. And it wouldn't be possible if we hadn't the sponsorship of Todd's Leap. And to Benny O'Hanlon and Todd's Leap, we want to thank them for all they've done, because to be able to sit in foreign countries and watch your own club play in a county final is every man's dream. So I wish all those that starting online all the best, and cheer harder, and we'll have a better second half.
Michael, thanks very much. You talk about sponsors, and just as he's here he is, the man himself. From Todd's Leap with the jacket and everything on him too. Listen, Benny, I know you leapt in whenever you were asked to support this very special Tyrone TV development, and you've got in full square, giving it your full 100% support.
Yeah, well, it's very, very good. Like, I have cousins in Australia and cousins in Dundalk and cousins down in Waterford, and they're all ringing, looking codes you could play, watching matches, and I'd say the people on the ground can come and see it, and it's a fantastic way of spreading the thing, and I think it's the future for the GAA and all the sports, that the future is online. So,
and Benny, credit to as well. Eugene's taking photographs of you here. He's non-stop, the PRO. He's very much at the fulcrum of it all. There's a big team involved in making this work.
Massive team. Like, you have the camera crews, you have the people on the ground, the PR people, and you have a lot of Todd's Leap people as well. The people that you see and hear about is only the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean? There's quite an army of people behind all this, and it is, so far, it's starting to work.
Well, are you a bit nervous at half time?
The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
Well, you're talking about the best is yet to come. I know you've got the Todd's Leap jacket on. You've a couple of very busy months ahead of you now, with Halloween coming on Christmas, and a lot of exciting things happening up your way.
A lot of stuff happening, as you know from the last time that you were locked up, that we have our Halloween thing, which is starting and towards the end of the month, not letting too much away. We're running for 10 nights. We're trying to get people to book in and to make use of the early board programme and get there's a discount for the early boards, and we'll go from there. Then the minute that's over, Santa Claus and crew are arriving, and the bookings are going fine, flat out for that. We're pushing hard at that, and the main thrust of our thing this week is Sunday lunches at Todd's Leap. So what we're saying is that every kid that turns up on a top, it doesn't matter which club it is, that if the parents go for the dinner, the kids get free ice cream.
Well, that's fantastic. I may turn up myself actually for ice cream. I've been up helping you out with that horror thing, and dare I say, it's very impressive now, Benny.
Well, we have went far and wide. The guys that are building that, or helping me to build that, are the guys that built the set for Game of Thrones. So we're using a lot of movie technology, and the technology that was learned on the island of Ireland about filming and making special effects. So this is the first time that these guys have worked outside of films, and what we have is a remarkable 20-room engagement, and you've seen some of it, and we'll just have to take it from there. We'll see how it goes.
Well, Benny, I wish you all the very best. And again, on behalf of everybody involved with Tyrone TV, you're putting your money where your mouth is, and I hope it's a very successful horror night, so to speak, and then for Christmas as well. And I wish you all the best in the second half.
Oh, no bother. No, well, I think we'll be lifting trophies in a wee while.
Benny, thanks very much indeed. The need to say now is, as you can see, we're live here. Gentlemen, how you doing, lads? How you keeping? We're going to get a perspective here now of Trillick and a perspective of Errigal. Dare I say, Errigal, we're a wee bit laboured at the start. Trillick got into a great start, and then the goal seemed to rock you back a wee bit. Very cagey affair.
The whole thing's a very cagey affair, Adrian. I thought Trillick made the better start. Probably in the first half have played whatever bit of football has been played. The goal definitely rocked us. Probably a few surprises. Maybe Errigal were expecting Matty Donnelly to be playing on the edge of the square. He's out playing more around the middle of the field now. But it's got to the stage where somebody is going to have to take a gamble here and take a chance. You know, you have too many players like Matty Donnelly, P.D. Hart, Lee Brennan, Mark Kavanagh, whatever on the field that, you know, someone's going to have to break a line, do something. And I just hope from a Trillick point of view that goal doesn't come back to haunt us, you know.
Did you expect Matty Donnelly further up the park?
Well, I suppose when Trillick had been so settled all year, you sort of knew they were going to try something, and he's well used to playing back there anyway. He might well change, but at the minute I'd say Trillick will be happy enough. They would have wished that have got more scores on the board. They've probably created the better scoring opportunities. They've got in behind the Errigal defence several times, thankfully shot wide on several of them occasions, whereas the Errigal forward line has really struggled to get in behind the Trillick forward line and ended up taking multiple shots from that same patch over in the 45-yard line, and all of them wide. So Errigal, from an attacking point of view, it just really isn't functioning. From a defensive point of view, they're defending numbers and they're being patient and they're frustrating Trillick, but we're going to have to cut loose a wee bit. There's no point coming to a county final, training all year and not really having a cut. But I think both teams will be eyeing that up in their dressing rooms at half time.
You almost answered my next question. I was going to ask you, look on your crystal ball. You talked about somebody has to take a gamble. Yeah, the county final is there to be won. It's not there just to be played in. You have to lift the trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a large period of that first half that the Errigal forwards really didn't take on any Trillick defender, so you're not even going to win a free if you never even try to take on a defender. So there is much to the game about being patient and being sensible in the modern game, but I think also you have to start getting the right players in a position and taking that, really trying to force Trillick, trying to put them on the back foot a wee bit. Obviously we're holding Dara Canavan in reserve. He is struggling with a groin injury. The release of him is going to add pace, but Errigal's attack, even with him on the pitch, if you know the way we played in the first half, we'd struggle to really release him. So there is more in Errigal. I know it, we've seen it plenty of times. This is a big occasion, but it's there to be played. They're now half an hour away from it, and there's no point leaving anything. There's no point leaving anything in Dunmoyle or leaving anything in the dressing room. It all has to come here.
Whenever you saw the team line up and you probably knew that young Canavan wouldn't make it, you'd be worried if he comes on, because he's like so many players out there. He's got that wee bit of magic dust that he can sprinkle on the park.
Oh well, listen, anybody who's at the semi-final, the goal was just top drawer, and probably not another player in the field could have done it. The worry would be if he comes on, starts winning ball, which he's well capable of doing out in front, and engaging and taking people on, because you know at the moment nobody's really doing that. And I think you've got Rory Brennan on a yellow card now on the Trillick side. You've Aidan McCrory on a yellow card on the other side. So you know Lee Brennan and P.D. Hart are probably going to have to, you know, maybe step up a bit as well. But obviously yes, Dara, and I think then from Trillick's point of view, Niall Gormley will probably be introduced at some stage towards the end of that too. You know, so it's in the melting pot, and it's very cagey. I think you know everybody come here expecting two great teams in a big shootout. Listen, it's just the whole occasion seems to have got to everybody.
Do you know what I find? It's very cagey on the park. It's cagey with you two lads as well too. You've been there, you've done that, you bought the t-shirt as far as Trillick's concerned. If you were in the dressing room now, what would you be saying to the lads? What would you be trying to map out for the way to win this fantastic trophy today?
Well, I think for the first 10 minutes of the second half, I still think they've got to be patient. I think that's one thing about Trillick, they've shown great patience all year. Now, against Clonaux, they struggled for a period. Cullean, they went in behind at half time. Here they're a point up, there's absolutely nothing. And I think they've got a sort of patience for the first 10 minutes, but I think they've got to go for it then. I think they have to, you know, and I think probably push Matty further forward and start getting players like, you know, Dara Gallagher more on the ball, get Lee Brennan more into the game as well, the shooters, because a lot of the players that are taking the shots, you know, Errigal are happy enough when they see who it's going to and let them boys take the pop shot, you know.
Now, he makes that point that he expects to see Matty Donnelly moved further up the park, more of a threat. But Pascal will know what in there in the Errigal dressing room as well. What will he be saying to the lads?
He'll be saying to them, now's the time. We've waited a long time to be back here. We've lost over at Toma a few years ago. We haven't won the title since 2012. So in Errigal there is a real hunger for this today, and I think with the nature of that game in the first half, the players didn't really get to display that desire that I'm sure is burning inside them. So it's time now to come out in the second half and really express that, to go for that finish line, because there's no point dying wondering. Today is a day about going out and winning it, and there is the talent in that team to cut loose. I think this game will open up a bit. A few wee things will happen and one team might get a run, but that'll open up the game and the other team will then have a go. So I think both teams are very evenly matched. There's great talent on both sides. I'm hoping Errigal has a better impact from the bench. I think there's a number of players there able to come in, so it's all about the timing of them changes now in the second half.
Lads, I have to say to you too, the county finds a very special day. Great entertainment. Tyrone TV doing their bit. You must be pleased with this step forward with Tyrone TV, going to Gales from Tyrone all over the world.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I think there's fellas in Australia, New York, and that were looking forward to this. It's been a great step, one of the real positive steps by Tyrone County Board and they have to be given great credit. And I suppose Benny O'Hanlon as well, who's come on as a sponsor here as well, that gives us opportunity to open it up more. But certainly somebody who's sitting far away, it's early in the morning there maybe, and some man says lapping on the sofa, but we're not giving them much to lap about then. Hopefully it will in the second half,
We're going to go back to our commentary side now in another minute. Are you confident?
Listen, it's tense. That I would like to think. I'd love the scoreboard at the end. If there's only another point apiece, and Trillick are a point ahead at the end, that's what it's all about.
And you've been there before, you've been in Croke Park, you've been here. Are you confident? Can you see Errigal getting over the line?
Look, the thing is there to be won. Go and win it. Just leave everyone on that pitch. This is one of the first county final I've been missing, and like all day I've been meeting other players. You want to be playing. Playing is where you want to be playing. But I think a lot of them players on both sides missed the opportunity to really enjoy that half. And yes, football's not for enjoyment, but go and play the second half and let's see where it all ends up. But Errigal still for me will get the noses in front somehow.
Lads, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate that. They talk about playing their part. Well, certainly the lads have been playing their part up in the commentary box. Joe McMahon and of course Damien Harvey. It's very tense. It's 1-1 to 5 in favour of Trillick. Who knows how the second half will turn out. Let's go back up and join the lads in the commentary box.
Okay, thank you, Logie. And just as Logie says, a slender 1 point lead for Trillick at the break here in Healy Park. 5 points plays a goal and a point. We're going to have a word from our sponsors here very shortly, and then we'll bring you full coverage of the second half. You folks are up and going again here for the second half of this Tyrone Senior Championship, and final. And we see a change, Joe. It looks like Joe Goose has entered the fray for Errigal Ciaran.
Yeah, I think he's come in for Darragh Canavan there, and as we watch, Ronan McCrory's gone to the full forward line, and Joe Goose seems to be going in to join him.
Yeah, as ball has been moved forward into the hands of Cormac Quinn. Cormac Quinn making good progress now into that inside forward line, and it's back now to cross towards Owen Kelly. Kelly trying to win possession of the ball. Errigal Ciaran trying to get a shot in on goal, and the kick goes up from Podge McAnanley, and has he got the score? It's gone out to the right of the post and wide once again. Errigal Ciaran's 8th wide of the game, first of the second half, and I reckon that's 8 in a row they've kicked now in the game. As the kick out will be Joe Maguire's down on our right hand side. Just confirm those changes at half time, Joe.
So I think it's Joe Goose who's come in for Owen Robinson, the goal scorer there. It seems to be the only change at this stage as the sun shines in towards our eyes at the tower.
Yeah, and it's Niall Donnelly who's making progress as Matty Donnelly looks now like he's operating in the inside forward line. Good run from Donnelly across the field of play. Right for a kick from him, high in the air and through the post and over the bar. Matty Donnelly has got his opening score of the game, and he's eased Trillick into a 2 point lead.
Yeah, I know the lads talked about it at half time, their analysis, and Raymond, and they were talking about Matty Donnelly not playing in closer to goals, and we see the threat that he has. If he gets in the ball and he drives forward, he's going to cause a lot of hurt to this Errigal defence.
Ball kicked out this near side into the hands of Ronan McCrory, who did well to win the mark just down in front of us. McCrory takes it out towards that 45 metre line or 65 metre line, plays a 1-2 and gets ball back in his hands. Errigal Ciaran find themselves 2 points behind in the game now. This is now with Niall Kelly, momentarily with Niall Kelly, And now out towards Mark Kavanagh, who started the game, of course. Going forward, Errigal Ciaran looked like they won the free there, but no, referee says no free there. Play on. Once again, Ronan McCrory launches it into the inside forward line, looking for O'Goose. O'Goose easily dealt with there in terms of by the Trillick defence. And once again, Rory Kelly proving his worth in there, Joe.
Yeah, tried the long high ball there. Maybe not the occasion there. The couple of Trillick men were sitting and only too happy to pick up the break. But as we watch Trillick, they're coming with more intent in their counter-attacking play. There's a bit more pace. And with the option of Matty Donnelly and Lee Brennan inside, that's a formidable threat to have.
Yeah, Richie Donnelly plays it across towards Dara Gallagher, who carries it out through that midfield sector. Now with Niall Donnelly. Pass is now with Stephen O'Donnell. Back to Donnelly once again. Has an option there in Ryan Gray. Ryan Gray shows all his strength and tries to move the ball forward, but Owen Kelly got across and made a hugely important tackle. And then, is he going to be called for the free? He is. Yeah, I thought that. Well, it was a far hand, probably, was it, Joe?
Yeah,
once you go slap across the body like that, the chances are you're going to be called for a free.
I thought previous to that, just outside the 45 as he began the run, he was fouled. Eamon McHugh didn't give it, and then as he went to ground, he seemed to have been pulled back on it by Owen Kelly, and he's happy to give a free and a scoring opportunity again from the threat of Lee Brennan.
Lee Brennan just inside that 45 metre line. Well, he's good 3 or 4 steps inside that 45 metre line, kicking up towards that Killybrack Road end of the ground. Left footed kick from him. You'll know immediately whether he's kicked it or not, because the fans behind the goals will tell you it just didn't. It come off the post and out for a wide. So both sides now have started the second half with a wide apiece. As we stand here just to keep the sun out of our eyes. Kick out will be Dara McAnanley's. Down on that left hand side. McAnanley kicks it out down the centre of the field this time. And a great catch in the midfield area there by Gray. Once again, Liam Gray moves it forward, plays a 1-2, gets it back in his hands. Now into the hands of Ryan Gray. Ryan Gray towards the edge of the D. Now to Matty Donnelly. Turns onto the left boot. Donnelly has he kicked the score. Drops it in short into the goalkeeper's hands. And easily dealt with as Errigal Ciaran picked possession up with Gray across on the far side through Mark Kavanagh. He plays it out to his wing half back, Peter O'Hanlon. Back to Kavanagh. He had Aidan McCrory ahead of him, but elects to hold on to possession of the ball. Now with Peter Hart. Hart's got an outlet pass if he wants to use it, and he can use it and get possession back in his hands once again. Now with Darren Canavan. Cuts back out onto that left hand side. And how big a blow has it been really for Darren Canavan not to have played any part in this county final so far, Joe?
Massive. He's been an outlet for Errigal Ciaran. He's been the score getter on so many occasions, and he would create so many problems with his movement and his ability to get those scores, as we watch Rory Brennan with another great turnover.
Absolutely, and this has given energy to the Trillick men, and it looked like Yardy was fouled across on the far side, but the ball has been played into towards corner back to Damien Kelly, who made great progress. Once again, the outlet passes Matty Donnelly. Donnelly comes across that 13 metre line, looks up. No options there to play the ball across until now to where Dara Gallagher has it. Will he give the ball to Lee Brennan? No, he doesn't. He likes to take it on in himself. Right footed kick from Gallagher. Has he got the score? No, he puts the head down. That's another wide for Trillick. Second wide of the second half for them. But they've got the first point of the second half. They now lead by 2. 6 points plays 1 goal and 1. In a very low scoring, tight contest here in Healy Park. And many people were calling this one a draw before the game even started, Joe.
Yeah, I would, from a Trillick point of view, would like to see Matty Donnelly taking the ball and going more direct as he does with Tyrone, and does it so well, and he draws the foul because he has the power and the pace to do it. And the occasions he's going, he's turning back, and it's allowing Errigal to get men behind the ball, and he doesn't have runners coming off the shoulder. Therefore, they're not getting the scoring opportunities because they're not punching those holes, and something to look at from his own game plan.
Yeah, James Gardy, one of the smallest players on the field, has won the mark. Has been taken quickly. Well, we must have been shoved in the back because it was taken by a different player. Anyway, the ball now into the hands of Ryan Gray across on the far side. Gray back towards, is that Liam Gray? It is indeed. Long ball, high ball into that inside forward line once again. Broken free, but whose hands is going to go to Richie Donnelly. Picks it up, neat turn from Richie Donnelly. Once again, poor effort from the kicking perspective. It's gone out to the right of the post this time. It's gone wide. And really, it's it's a disappointing return given the fact that both these teams, I suppose we've had a brilliant junior final, a brilliant intermediate final, and maybe this one just wasn't going to live up to the expectations.
Well, I mean, we could see this game the way that it's going, nip and tuck. It'll leave for an exciting finish, but quality-wise, we haven't seen much. And on that occasion, Richie Donnelly taking the left-footed shot and probably hasn't been in the game as much as he'd like to, and imposing the power and the threat that he has. And as Errigal Ciaran will certainly be looking to get another score on the board at this stage.
Possession is in the hand of Ronan McCrory. Ronan McCrory heading in towards that 45-metre line, slips it across towards P.D. Hart. Now into the hands of US Hart as he makes his way across that 45-metre line. And look who's there to make the tackle, only James Gardy. Flips it out that far side. Podge McAnally picks it up. Is he going to add the bit of class that's required? McAnally, good run from him. Gives it to Goose. Goose kicks it up high in the air, but that's going to drop short once again. Owen Kelly's in there to try and win it. Superb catch in there by centre half back Dara Gallagher, who takes it away at that far side, and that really energises a team like Trillick, who are leading by 2 points, Joe.
Yeah, the reason he got that ball, he's made the early jump. He was probably a bit of a mismatch with him and Owen Kelly, but he made the early jump.
And Gardy, Gardy, the man that caused the turnover once again, has got possession now into the hands of Richie Donnelly. Richie Donnelly crossfield pass towards Matty, but that goes over his head, and Kieran Quinn should be favoured to win this, but Matty Donnelly was closing down the yardage there. Kavanagh comes across to try and tidy up possession from Errigal's perspective. It looked like he was shoved, and the back referee disagrees with it, and it's out. And Shane Doherty is given the sideline ball. A bit harsh, I thought.
I think it was very close from Mark Kavanagh. Maybe, if anything, it was off the ground, but I don't think it was out of play. But from a Trillick point of view, they did well. The ball was switched across the field. Didn't work out for Matty, but he didn't give up the ghost. He chased it and caused a turnover.
Damian McDermott has come into the play. Dasher's gone in to replace wing half back Peter O'Hanlon on that Errigal side. So another change on that Errigal side as Lee Brannan picks up possession, tries to go past it. Aidan McCrory launches it into once again in towards Matty Donnelly. He's providing a very useful outlet on that inside forward for Trillick. Now with Lee Brannan once again down this near side. Donnelly picks it up, lovely pass towards Richie Donnelly. He made great progress. He goes to ground. The free will be Trillick's. And they've just been a bit more positive in terms of their attacking options, and that's the difference between the two teams at the minute.
Yeah, we're starting to see, as I mentioned, Richie hadn't been in the game, but he's starting to impose himself a bit more, getting himself a bit more into to possession of the ball, and this will play into Trillick's hands. Lee Brennan, tier 3 once again, and Matty Donnelly has been a great outlet for them. Every time they look up, they're lucky they're happy to give that long ball in, and a few more questions for Errigal to answer. I think Niall Kelly's dropping in deep, but he's found himself in no man's land. He's not getting an opportunity to cut out any balls, maybe because of the quality of the ball that's getting in. So Errigal need to put more pressure in around the middle to that ball coming in to their defence.
Lee Brennan with the free, and we've got a great view of it here, right through the posts and over the bar. Trillick have moved themselves 3 ahead. 7 points plays, a goal and 1.
Substitution, number 15, Dara Canavan.
And Dara Canavan in to play, Joe.
Yeah, well, as we see, Stephen O'Donnell going to pick him up probably initially. Heath would have thought that he would have been marking him from the start, but what a player to be bringing in at this stage of a county final.
I just check with Damien who's alongside us here. When's the last time Errigal Ciaran scored in the game? Damien, the 6th minute of the game. So we're now in the 40th minute of the game, and Errigal Ciaran haven't scored since the 6th minute. It's possession now once again into the hands of Ryan Gray, who takes a shot on, and there was no noise in the stand on the far side, which would indicate that the ball has gone wide, and it has. And that's 8th wide, 4th wide of the second half for Trillick. Errigal just the 1 wide, but 6th minute. We haven't seen an Errigal score now in 34 minutes.
Yeah, disappointing. And I know Enda touched it on half time. He said, play, don't get caught up on the occasion, go out, express yourself, play. It's a county final, don't have any regrets. And at the minute, Errigal aren't really opening up. And credit to Trillick, they're not allowing them to all their own ways. Watch Podge McAnally with a magnificent bit of fielding.
Yeah, Podge McAnally sailed up, wins possession of the ball, and gives it out now towards his wing half back. That's Stephen Tierney. Tierney carries it out over the halfway line. Mark Kavanagh has provided an outlet on that far side. Kavanagh out over the 45-metre line, still in possession of the ball. Now into the hands of cornerback, actually, Dasher McDermott. Plays it once again now. First touch for Dara Canavan, who we might have been expecting to start, but the ball now with Owen Kelly. Kelly into the hands of Peter Hart. We believe Dara Canavan had groin injury, and that's what kept him out of the starting lineup. And once again, Rory Brennan in to stop Peter Hart. And how many times have you seen that ever happening? Ball now with Rory Kelly, who's been a rock solid in that Trillick defence, and he picks up possession once again and goes on the attack over that halfway line. Ball outlet pass away on the far side is into the hands of Damien Kelly, who launches it forward towards Matty Donnelly. Matty Donnelly goes to ground, but he slipped on the surface on that occasion. It's tidied up by Kieran Quinn over there, and Owen Kelly might be in a spot of bother. We just need to see how that progresses, but it's Kieran Quinn meanwhile who takes possession out way across on the far side. Is that O'Goose that has picked it up? Looking for Canavan. Canavan rips out in front of this man, picks up possession of the ball, and he's immediately surrounded by 2-3 Trillick men, but he has managed to find Peter Hart. Hart with possession, launches it across the field of play, looking for Podge McAnally. McAnally rose up there to try and win it, but it's been knocked clear out towards Ben McDonald. Been very quiet in the game. McDonald plays it back, possession out now towards Stephen Tierney, and it's now in the hands of McAnally once again. McAnally going to try and create that scoring opportunity that Errigal so desperately need. They find themselves 3 behind. 43rd minute of the game now. Here goes Dara Canavan. Long crossfield pass away to the far side where Owen Kelly will pick up possession, and he's got a wee bit of space over there, but once again he turns down the shooting opportunity, gives it towards Peter Hart. Peter Hart under all sorts of pressure from Rory Brennan. Once again he's bottled up by Brennan, and Trillick really putting the heat on as Owen Kelly gives it across now to the number 22 Mark Kavanagh. Kavanagh has an outlet pass, and Ben McDonald. McDonald going forward. Can he get the score? Slips the pass. Here's a chance for a shot on goal. It's gone in, and it's gone over the VAR, and eventually in the 44th minute of the game, it's the man from Errigal that get the score, and I think that was Cormac Quinn. Yeah. It was number 17 Cormac Quinn.
Great score from Cormac, and well worked. Ben McDonald had a wee injection of pace just right through the middle, drew a few players towards him, and he slipped the ball over the top. But Errigal, I must full credit to Rory Brennan. He's doing a magnificent job. And Petey Hart, he's sucking the life out of Errigal at times by getting those turnovers, because Petey is their go-to man. Errigal Ciaran, a goal and 2. It's Trillick. 7 points, 2-point game. Here come the men from Trillick once again. Rory Brennan picks it up, goes out towards the midfield area where Niall Donnelly just shovels the pass on towards Ryan Gray. Gray under a spot of pressure manages to offload possession, and Trillick tidied up once again through Richie Donnelly across the far side. The outlet passes Rory Brennan occupies the space at wing half forward, gives it towards Matty Donnelly once again. Matty Donnelly trying to turn, but Kieran Quinn stuck to his task well on that occasion, and he's managed to win possession. And has he won the sideline? No, he hasn't. It's given away to Trillick, but Kieran Quinn was did a decent job on Matty Donnelly that time. Yeah, he certainly did, and he had to, because if Matty's continually winning the ball in there, it's given Trillick an opportunity to create the scoring opportunities, and we can see he's coming in for a bit of special attention as Niall Kelly's dropping in front, and Trillick are very patient in possession at times. Other times they're trying to force it and giving the ball down blind alleys. So if they recycle the ball on more occasions and get the runner, then they will have better scoring opportunities. Brennan in possession of the ball. Lee Brennan launches it forward in towards Matty Donnelly. Matty Donnelly kicks it up high in the air, and he spins around and puts it through the post and over the bar. And that's a very effective option for the Trillick men in there. The ball inside to Matty Donnelly. He'll turn on the right, he'll turn on the left, it doesn't matter. It's over the bar, and it's a 3-point lead once again for the men from Trillick with just under 15 minutes to go. Yeah, that's a smarter run from Matty that time. He's been starting his runs, and he's running out towards the wing, which is taking him away from goals and a more acute angle to try and work the score. On that occasion, he come out around the edge of the D. He come out straight and on the turn, very difficult to mark as a defender, and taking the score on, a great score. 6,095 the attendance at this year's county final, as possession is now once again Trillick's. Ryan Gray picks it up, looks for under a spot of pressure over there, but he manages to get possession to the hands of Rory Brennan on the far side. Brennan making good progress. Brennan into the heart of this Errigal defence. Still Brennan in possession of the ball. Good run from Brennan into the heart, in towards Matty Donnelly. Matty Donnelly turned this time onto the left, turns right onto the right. Donnelly with a shot, but brilliantly blocked down in there. I think it was Niall Kelly that got a block on, and here come Errigal, desperately in need of another score. It's Mark Kavanagh shovels the ball forward, looking for an inside pass towards Podge McAnally. Back towards Mark Kavanagh. Kavanagh making good progress down this right hand side. Is he going to give it to Dara Canavan? Dara Canavan trying to launch onto it, but the free is Errigal's on this occasion. And that was a really important block at the other end of the field, Joe. Yeah, I think if Matty had got the ball, the head up, Rory Brennan was sitting free on the edge of the D, and if he had popped the pass with a fist pass, certain goal scoring opportunity, but Matty took the shot on. Excellent block, and that's the counter-attacking play that we've come to see in Errigal this year. They went out of pace, Mark Kavanagh up this near side, it certainly, I think, it was a free kick. Left the arm in a bit too soon, and I think this is the first real scoreable opportunity for Petey Hart from this position anyway, and that's the discipline that we've seen from the Trillick defence.
Petey Hart from the 20-metre line as the comms get sorted on Eamon McHugh across on the far side. A few anxious Errigal Ciaran faces in that crowd. They need a score, and Peter Hart, they'll be hoping, can deliver one here from this 20-metre free. As you can see, he's only really a dozen steps in from the sideline, but it's really, really important from Errigal Ciaran's perspective that they get the next score in the game. In the 48th minute, it's Hart with a kick, kicks it up high in the air, and he's managed to split the posts on this occasion and put it over the bar, and we're back down to a 2-point game. It's Peter Hart with the latest score, only his second of the game.
Yeah, despite all Trillick's dominance and possession, they've been quite wasteful themselves, kicking 8 wides in total, and Errigal, you know, for all their shot selections, a lack of potency up front, they're still in this game, 2 points, and this will leave for an interesting finish.
Yeah, here comes Rory Brennan once again into the hands of Matty Donnelly. Once again, he's providing that great outlet for them in that inside forward line, and Donnelly stopped on this occasion. Kieran Quinn could be in the book here very shortly. Eamon McHugh calls him across, and the inevitable booking is about to happen. Kieran Quinn hasn't been booked in the game so far. Lee Brennan just checking with Shane Doherty where the free is going to be taken, but the booking will be a yellow for Kieran Quinn. And Trillick just changed the tactics slightly at half time. They've moved Donnelly into that side forward line, and it's providing very fruitful for them. They're able to find him at relative ease, Joe.
Yeah, and I think that because the space is there, I know Niall Kelly's dropping in front, but Oma's a big pitch, there's a lot of space to cover, and Kieran Quinn was more in the game, and Matty wasn't so much in the first half when he was out around the middle. Now that he's inside, there's more of a threat, and I would imagine there'll be a change coming, especially with Quinn sitting in a yellow card.
And Lee Brennan moves Trillick, as you can see, up to 9 points now, over 1 goal and 3 for Errigal Ciaran, and that increases his tally in this year's championship up to some 19 points now in the championship this year. But I think Darren McCurry on 122 is looking pretty good to be top scorer, as Aidan McCurry comes across, wins possession once again, takes it back now, and he's looking for some support now and finds it through Stephen Tierney, who now in turn gets the ball to McDermott, back to Tierney. Errigal trying to work a shooting opportunity now with Mark Kavanagh. Peter Hart has it 50 metres away from goals into the hands of Ben McDonald. Ben McDonald looking to trying to get a shot on goal. Ben McDonald's kick goes in but drops in short and out to left and wide once again. Errigal just cannot get the scores that they need.
No, Ben McDonald maybe hasn't been in this game as much as Errigal would like. He gets into positions, that wee injection of pace has created opportunity. Maybe it wasn't the shot that was on, he could have worked an extra pass into a better position, but another wide, as you say, and it just eats away at the confidence of the Errigal players.
Dara Canavan has it for Errigal there on the 20. He's on the 20-metre line, trying to go past Michael Gallagher. Gallagher sticking to his task. In fact, there's Stephen O'Donnell, the captain, sticking to his task over there. Mark Kavanagh has it. Now out towards the wing half forward, Ronan McCrory. Errigal Ciaran really need to throw caution to the wind here, because there's no point in thinking about what could have happened. You've got to go and make it happen. And Errigal, well, this short passing game around that middle third is not going to work for them. Joe O'Goose picks it up, goes to the 45-metre line, looking to create a shooting opportunity. Good run from O'Goose, but he's dropped it at a bad time, and it's been picked up. Rory Brennan has done the hard work there, made the hard yards and won the free, and it's going to be a free out to Trillick. And there's just a wee bit more about this Trillick team at the minute, isn't there?
Yeah, there definitely is. Joe Goose did well. He he took on his man, but what he did coming out of the tackle was he took the bounce, and especially around that part of the pitch in Healy Park, it's soft. The bounce, the ball didn't come up for him. Spilled it and give the opportunity for the Trillick defence to swarm in around him, as they've been doing all day, closing down the Errigal forward line, and he once again setting up another attack.
Richie Donnelly has made the hard yards further down the field here. Great offload, and once again Niall Donnelly picks it up now just on the 45, his own 65-metre line rather, Ball across towards Michael Gallagher. Fuller running away across on the far side. Has possession of the ball in his hands. Looks up ahead of him. You know who he's looking for. He's looking for Matty Donnelly in that inside forward line once again. And Matty Donnelly's just pointing to where he wants it. It's now Willie Brennan. Brennan into the hands of Dara Gallagher. Gallagher plays a lovely pass in towards Donnelly, and here goes Niall Donnelly through the centre. Niall Donnelly, this is going to be a shooting opportunity, and Niall Donnelly just clips it over the bar, gets the score. That's the whole half forward line that have scored from play now for Trillick. Niall Donnelly is the latest point scorer. Trillick are up to 10 points. They lead by 4.
Yeah,
Sorry, was that Damien Kelly?
I think it was Damien Kelly there, but a superb score from Trillick. As they got the turnover in their own defence. Richie Donnelly did well to work the ball out, and that clip pass in again to Matty Donnelly in front. And Matty on that occasion, he didn't turn and take on his man. He slipped it off with Kelly coming off at pace, and a great score. Goal opportunity possibly on, but it was probably the right option to take, and Trillick in full control here.
Absolutely, right option to take for Damien Kelly. Surely he got the point, and it's McAnanley with the kick out. Dara McAnanley for Trillick. They're really struggling now. They're 4 behind, and once again it's Slutkitt's up man Niall Donnelly that has won the free from the mark in the midfield area. He was shoved in the back, referee says, so the kick is now a free kick which is taken into the hands of Dara Gallagher. Now with Lee Brennan. 50 metres away from goals, looking up ahead of him, looking for Matty Donnelly. Matty Donnelly once again is the outlet, and he wins possession of the ball. He's had a superb final. The ball back into the hands of Niall Donnelly. Lovely little pass. Here goes Gray through the centre. Gray trying to get the ball away. Is it going to the net? No, it's just gone wide. Decent work from the Errigal defence. In fact, it was Damien McDermott was in there just to turn that one away. The shot came in from Liam Gray, Joe, but the Errigal defence managed to scramble it clear.
Yeah, did very well to clear the lines, but again, how many times it was said it in the second half. Matty Donnelly run out to the side. He gave the ball. He wasn't happy with just laying it off over the top. He come out around the loop, got the return, and another slip pass into Graham behind, who has got on a lot of ball himself throughout this game, and very good defence from Errigal, and another scoring opportunity for Lee Brennan.
Lee Brennan sets the ball on the 45 metre line. Trillick just over 6 minutes away from winning back another O'Neill Cup. It would be their 8th if they managed to do it, but they're 6 minutes away, and a Lee Brennan 45 to ease them 5 ahead, and that looks good from here, and it is. It's over the bar. They're up to 11 points and the lead now by 5.
Yeah, I mean, this will just play into Trillick hands because they're happy to absorb any pressure comes their way. They'll drop men in behind the ball, and the way Errigal have been coming up the pitch and trying to get the scores, you would see it very difficult for them to get themselves into this game and get a result.
Errigal Ciaran need a goal. They just need to make it happen very quickly. They've won the mark away across on the far side, and the ball has been launched into that inside forward line where Podge McAnanley, who has been working tirelessly in there to try and win possession back, now into the hands of Dara Canavan. Dara Canavan turns onto the right boot, kicks it up high in the air. It tries to spin it round, but it goes out to the right of the post. It goes wide, and it's been the tale of Errigal Ciaran's afternoon. From their perspective, that's now the 10th wide of the game for them, and well, they'll look back and they'll see those opportunities well, and they'll rue them. You feel at this stage.
Definitely so, and I think now that Errigal have pushed up, they've gone man to man. It leaves even more space inside for Lee Brennan and Matty Donnelly, and with Trillick comfortable in possession throughout this whole game, happy to be patient and work those spaces for the boys to get into. You would imagine Trillick will just look to close this out.
Dara Gallagher moves it on out once again. Gallagher has possession, launches away across the far side. Is that going to go into Liam Gray's hands? It is indeed. Gray picks it up, heads away down the sideline on the far side, looking to launch another Trillick attack. Goes short towards Lee Brennan, who has strayed away out from his full forward berth, and he's operating now almost as a playmaker out round there at the minute. He goes to ground, he's looking for the free, but the referee says there is no free. Richie Donnelly has got a bit of work to do to try and win possession back on that occasion, and Errigal Ciaran have won the sideline, which they've taken very quickly over there, and Joe Goose has it. Joe Goose looks up, there's only one Errigal Ciaran forward in there, and he's very hard to find because there's two Errigal or Trillick men in front of him. And Trillick have won back possession once again. Lee Brennan just controls the game. Lovely turn from Brennan away across on the far side, out over the 65 metre line, heading into Errigal Ciaran territory. Now into the hands of Rory Brennan. Lovely ball forward towards Matty Donnelly. Donnelly looked like he was shoved back on that occasion. Referee says no. Cormac Quinn picks it up deep in his own half. Ball out into this near side towards Damien McDermott. McDermott trying to force the issue. 3.5 minutes left in the game. Errigal 5 points down against Trillick. Coming out the field of play once again, it's McDermott. still out towards the 65-metre line, trying to work possession, but the pace of the Errigal Ciaran attack isn't there this afternoon, hasn't been there at all really this afternoon. And Peter Hart takes it and slows possession down from Errigal's perspective once again, looking for the killer pass, but which has been sadly lacking from Errigal Ciaran's perspective. And once again, Hart takes it into the heart of that Trillick defence. Now across the far side, Mark Kavanagh with Podge. Is that Podge McAnally over there? Off the outside of the left boot, but once again out to the left of the post and wide. And once you hear all stewards to the end of match positions, Joe, you know you're heading into the dying minutes of this game.
Yeah, as we see the crowd starting to pour out here, and I mean, that's Podge McAnally. They're trying to work a score on the board again. He's taking a percentage shot from the wrong side, outside of the boot. He could have worked it in a bit further, as Petey Hart was trying to do. Probably sums up the attacker from Errigal Ciaran's point of view. And as we watch Trillick win another kick out.
Trillick have won the kick out, and it's Gavin McCarran that has it. It's now back into the hands of cornerback Stephen O'Donnell. He will be heading up the steps very shortly to collect the O'Neill Cup, unless Errigal Ciaran can do something to redress this really serious position from their perspective very, very quickly. It's now Dara Gallagher. Gallagher goes short into the hands of Rory Brennan. Trillick controlling the game. They've dug this one out really in the second half, and it's been a pretty drab affair throughout the afternoon, but Trillick won't complain about that if they can manage to hold on here. Ball on possession out this near side. It's now was Gavin McCarran once again looking to bring in Niall, or the last point to score Kelly, but once again he goes out over the sideline. And that last Errigal Ciaran sub there was Tiernan Colquhoun for Stephen Tierney. Tierney.
Trillick substitution, number 19, Niall Gormley.
And Niall Gormley comes into the play, and it's he's going to replace Niall Donnelly, and it's nice to be able to bring in experience like that, Joe.
Yeah, Niall have played with Niall in the minors in 2001. Quality player, lovely left foot, and he did well actually in the any games that he's come on this year, and another potent add to the Trillick attack.
Errigal have possession of the ball now through, is that Stephen McCrory on the field of play as well? Maybe I'll pick that one up now with Tiernan Colquhoun. As Errigal Ciaran go forward once again, they're trying to get the score. Peter Hart with a shot, and Peter Hart's shot goes out to the right of the post and goes wide. Another wide for Errigal. That's now 12 wides on the afternoon for them so far. In fact, that's going for 45. So we're into the last 45 seconds really of normal time, and I see the barriers coming out on the far side. A 5-point lead for Trillick, and it looks like theirs to lose really at this stage. It is theirs to lose, Joe.
Yeah, it definitely is. Petey will probably look to chip this in to possibly get a goal, but at this stage I think things are ominous.
Yeah, he clips it in and he's clipped it over the bar. Peter Hart has recorded another score. And there's going to be three additional minutes at the end of this one. Errigal Ciaran are back to within 4 points. They desperately need possession here, Joe, and they desperately need a goal.
They definitely do, and if that's going to come, it's going to have to come from the kick out here. They've pushed up man to man. McAnally's coming out to even towards the 45 to cover out any long ball.
Oh, ball now. Once again, they've got possession. They're trying to work the ball to Peter Hart. Peter Hart, it plays it across. Tierney has it there. There's a chance here for Hart once again, racing in towards the edge of the square, but brilliantly blocked there by Rory Brennan, who come across and blocked it, and then I think that was Matty Donnelly that was shoved in the back, and it will be a free out for Trillick.
Yeah, I think Petey seems to be protesting that Rory Brennan had put the foot in to block the ball, possibly. It was hard to see from this, but he seems to be having a word with him and McHugh. The ball broke up high, and I think it was one, I'm not sure who's in the ground there, but did well to win it in the shoulder and the back, and Trillick will look to play this out as Errigal push up on their man. Yeah,
they certainly will be. It's there's been, just checking, there's just 2 points from play Errigal have managed in the game, Joe.
Yeah, well, I mean, therein lies the story of this game from Errigal Ciaran. They kind of, you know, in the 2017 they probably felt they left that game behind them this time around, but they didn't create enough opportunities. Trillick are more deserving of this victory, without a doubt. They've been more efficient in front of goals. With the second half, Matty Donnelly has been excellent option in the full forward line and creating those scoring opportunities. and fully deserving of their victory here.
Yeah, as Rory Brennan just collects possession and shoved out over the sideline, and it is his free across the sideline. We're just 90 seconds away from the end of this one, and it looks like Trillick will progress as Tyrone champions for 2019, as here goes Rory Brennan once again, and the roar is from the Trillick crowd away across on the far side as Ryan Gray has it now for them. Can they finish with a flourish here? The Reds, as Gray plays it out towards Brennan. Brennan looking for an option across towards Richie Donnelly. Richie Donnelly 45 metres away from goals, moves it in towards Niall Gormley there, and the ball is up high in the air and over the bar, and Richie Donnelly punches the air, because the men from Trillick are about to be crowned 2019 LCC Tyrone Senior Football Champions once again for their 8th time in their history. The kick out has gone out as a really poor one, and they could be finishing with even more of a flourish here, but there's 2 footballers on the field. The referee says play on anyway. It's now into the hands of McAnanley, and we're now into the last 30 seconds of normal time. A fully deserved victory for the men from Trillick, Joe.
Yeah, that sums up Trillick's attacking prowess there. Richie Donnelly got the head up 1-2 with Niall Gormley inside, and just picking the score from outside the D. Richie's finished this game really strongly when the game was in the melting pot.
He did indeed. Ball out now this near side. Damien McDermott launches one in towards the edge of the square, rising up there as O'Goose to try and knock it down. It's gone towards Podge McAnanny. Podge McAnanny making good progress. He goes to ground. The referee says it's going to be a penalty. But he wasn't near any player, I don't think. Joe?
No, I think he's got this wrong. He said he was pulled back, but I think he slipped. He definitely slipped there.
Well, the Trillick players are pleading their innocence, and I think they've every right to, but, well, Eamon McHugh spotted an infringement. It is a penalty. It's Peter Hart to take it, and are we going to have late drama here? Peter Hart with a shot, goes to the bottom right-hand corner, gets the goal. And what he might have done is just become the top scorer in the championship this year. We'll double check that one with that goal. But it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, I think
the scoreboard's showing.
I would imagine he'll blow the game up at this stage.
2-point game, sorry, apologies. 2-point game. 2-4, plays 12 points. Yeah. Ball out round midfield, but it's over. And the Reds from Trillick are the 2019 Senior Football Champions once again for their 8th time in their history, as the fans and the primary school kids and all sorts of ages come streaming onto the field. And Trillick, well, they fully deserved the victory, Joe. They worked harder and they executed their plays, and they got their tactics right in terms of Matty Donnelly.
Without a doubt, the first half was you know, they created opportunities. It was tit for tat in the first 10 minutes. We thought it was going to be a more enjoyable, more open, free scoring affair. It didn't materialise as the game went on. However, the start of the second half, and as the second half wore on, Trillick just took total control. The outlet of Matty Donnelly inside was a great option. They got the ball in. Their attacks weren't as ponderous as they were in comparison to Errigal's or in comparison to their own in the first half. Matty was a great outlet, got a couple of scores on the board. Rory Brennan was immense in cutting out the threat of PD Hart, and you're going a long way to stopping Errigal when you're taking PD Hart out of the game. At the start of the game, a massive loss to Errigal was the fact that Dara Canavan didn't start. Probably sucked a bit of life out of Errigal from that point of view, but Trillick fully deserving of their victory, and well done to them.
Yeah, it's the men from Trillick that have annexed the 2019 LCC Tyrone Senior Football Championship here. It wasn't the greatest game of football in the world, but they'll not care about that. They've got the victory here, and Peter Hart, well, he just fell 1 point short. It's Darren McCurry who's the top scorer in the Tyrone Senior Football Championship this year with 25 points in total, and Aidan Darkman, well, he'll have that trophy to collect at some point in the near future. I think we're going to go down pitch side where I think Adrian Logan's got an interview.
Our first presentation this evening is to the top scorer.
Well, I'm delighted to say we're joined now by a very happy man, Nigel. You have to be impressed with that performance today.
Yeah, it was very, very, very good. They're a very good set of players. Willing to learn. We've learned a few lessons on the road this last couple of years now, and thankfully that sort of disappointments and experience, you know, saw us through today. You know, I think.
we played just Dungannon Clarks a few weeks ago, and the thing that struck me about you was that your movement off the ball continuously, every line, always asking questions of the opposition.
Well, that's the way the game's going. It's all about mobility now and players who are comfortable on the ball. We have a very good underage coaching system where we are at the club. We're very lucky. We're very lucky too that the club's the fulcrum of the community. So those boys now are coming through into senior, and they're very comfortable on the ball, and they're willing to get in part of this here.
To win a county title is fantastic, number 8 for you. To win it against the likes of Errigal, who are one of the great teams, it must make it that wee bit sweeter for you.
Well, listen, it doesn't matter who you win it against. Winning it's the big thing, and we were put to the pin of our collar all day long there, so it's just overriding emotion now. At the minute's relief.
I was going to say there's almost a sense of deflation almost when you win it. You just go, wow, we're over the line. And now, of course, then you look towards the Ulster Championship.
Well, it's a different competition altogether. I think we'll go home and we'll have a few beers and chaw the fat first.
And it's everybody would think we'd delighted. Like, worthy winners, you'd have to say. I think even the most ardent Errigal fan would have to agree with that.
We've played very well all year, and sometimes in sport you don't always get your rewards for playing well, but thankfully we've got it this year.
Well done, Nigel. Congratulations. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, that's actually the word. I'm just going to get this man over here. He's too busy talking, but here he is, the man who is in control of it all. We had issues and problems today by all accounts, Eugene.
Yeah, it was phenomenal demand today. I suppose it's county final. Everybody wants to see Tyrone football, and there was some technical issues. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, but be rest assured, we will be compensating anybody that has paid for the live streaming, and we'll be reimbursing every single person that had difficulties. It's just phenomenal interest in the game, and broadband and the Wi-Fi throws up all sorts of different types of technical things that I'm not, too au fait with. But look at, we will try and find out what happened. It's disappointing after such a success in 9 games. Everybody across the world looking forward to seeing the like of this today, and it's unfortunate, but we're going to try and find out what went wrong. But be rest assured, anybody that did pay and didn't get to see the game, they're going to get their money repaid, and we're going to hopefully put it out live now on our Facebook page, so everybody will be able to enjoy it for free.
Well, that's fantastic. That's a nice message to take to. And I know before I hand back up the lads to do the presentation, there's a lot of people who need to be thanked for this. This just didn't happen overnight.
Absolutely. It's the likes of yourselves, all our volunteers, it's been phenomenal. I've really touched base with everybody that's had any sort of degree of influence as regards TV or video, and they've all come on board willingly to give of their time to help us promote Tyrone TV. And of course, you mentioned himself earlier, Benny O'Hanlon and Todd Sleep. They've been fantastic. But behind all this, really and truly, we've got a fantastic group of individuals within Tyrone, and that's Ciaran and Darren of Mac AV, their production team, their video company that has done behind all of this, been able to live stream the 9 games up until today, and this 10th one, which we had a few problems with, have been fantastic to us. But we'll rise above this again, and we'll come back even bigger and better, hopefully. And there's a few very interesting league games before the end of the season. Hopefully we'll be able to bring them live to the people out across the world.
I have to say, folks, he's got a few grey hairs there. He got a few extra in the second half because things didn't work out the way he wanted to work out. Disappointing for everybody. Hope I haven't really ruined your afternoon's fun. It will all be refunded. We'll show it on Facebook Live like that, and let's hope that you're going to have a fantastic day. But congratulations to Trillick. Let's go back to the commentary box as we join the lads, Joe, and taking it up again, Damien.
Okay, thanks for that. And a receipt. Joe, there's obviously a marked contrast in the two teams down the field. You can see the Errigal lads sitting down in front of us here, contemplating what might have been, and the euphoria of the Trillick lads in the middle of the field, who are about to go up and collect O'Neill Cup number 8 for them. And the man that'll be collecting it very shortly, Stephen O'Donnell. And after wins over Dromore, Clonoe, Cull and Errigal, you have to say that they're well worthy champions.
Yeah, any journey you take in a club championship in Tyrone, you have to earn going up them steps and lifting the O'Neill Cup. And I think the Trillick team probably were more seasoned coming into this game with the opposition that they were coming up against. And you talk about the contrasting emotions here. We look at Errigal Ciaran. Unfortunately, I've been there on that occasion myself in 2005, and it's not a nice place to be. But Errigal Ciaran, young team, I'm sure they'll be back here again, but full credit to Trillick. There'll be enjoyment for the next few days, and I can imagine they'll have their sights set on an Ulster campaign, especially when you look at some of the high-profile teams in recent years that have gone out of the competition.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We're going to put the hand over to Errigal Ciaran, who'll lead proceedings on the far side, and he's about to present the O'Neill Cup.
I want to thank everybody for their attendance here today, and a special thanks to those who are watching online. This is the second year of our Tyrone Senior County Final being streamed by Tyrone TV. To all those who made it possible, a big thank you, and especially to our main sponsor of Tyrone TV, Benny O'Hanlon and Todd Sleep. Thanks very much. I welcome our main sponsor for our Tyrone Senior Championship, Michael Rohan, and Indian Struggle from LCC Group here today. This is the second year of LCC Group sponsorship, and I wish them well in their business and thank them for the generous sponsorship, and look forward to a long relationship with them and their company in the future. And I'd ask all our members and supporters to support all our sponsors at club and county level, because without their help we couldn't keep on going. So thank you very much to all sponsors. I congratulate our referee, David McHugh, and I thank him for a job well done, and to the team of umpires and linesmen, well done too. I want to thank both teams for a game that was played in a great sporting manner, and I wish them all the best for the rest of 2019. Unfortunately, today wasn't to be Errigal Ciaran's day, but partaking in a county final creates a great community spirit. In recent years, your club has utilised this great spirit to deliver many improvements around Gardner McCrory Park, which will be used for generations to come. Well done to all your committee members and volunteers involved in the continued development, and I wish you all the help to enjoy it for years and years to come. And I'm sure it won't be too long before Errigal's back in the winners' enclosure again. To Trillick, well done and congratulations. This year, your league form marked you out for a prolonged championship campaign. The draw you got was as bad a draw as anybody ever wanted. And any year you beat Tyrone, Trillick, Escalating, and Errigal, you really earned the O'Neill Cup this year. Enjoy tonight as you return to Donnelly Park, and we'll all be supporting you as you go forward to represent all Tyrone clubs in the Ulster Senior Club Championship. Finally, it gives me great pleasure to present the O'Neill Cup to the 2019 LCC Group Tyrone Senior Championship champion, Stephen O'Donnell. Their heads are back, boys! It has been a privilege for me to be chosen here as captain of a special group of players from Ulster. It's been a real dream, especially here to listen in front of everybody, especially the supporters. It's been unbelievable, and I thank you very, very much. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Man Auto Salaries and Spurs for the week off work, and for the continued support throughout the year. Thank you.
management. What can I say with them? The group of men today we have answered the call. Malachy, Liam, Conor, Declan, Brian and Ciaran. They've been there to lead us by a man who leads no he gives everything to Trillick, he lives and he breathes it. That man's Michael Ciaran. And most importantly, to our very loyal supporters, from 2015 we've put you through absolute hell at times, but hopefully today makes up for it. Cheers. A special mention to all the people who got the team today, especially Errigal Ciaran. No doubt he was up and doing the wee mountain trees today. We came here today, hoping for you today was going to be an easy task, especially against Errigal. The panel they have, the powers they have behind them as the management. You've seen the last 3 or 4 years, they have been at the top of the throne, and no doubt they'll be there again. The 3 cheers for Errigal. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our congratulations to Stephen O'Donnell and his team from Trillick St McCartans, who are the 2019 LCC Tyrone Senior Football Championship champions, and they will make, of course, their way back to Trillick this evening, where I'm sure they'll be partying long into the night. Our thanks, of course, to Joe McMahon for co-commentary this afternoon as well, and the lads at MacAV, and I believe this commentary will be on the broadcast will be out on Facebook very shortly. And with nothing more further to do, only to congratulate once again the men from Trillick and say our thanks to everybody for helping to put the production together this afternoon, and our congratulations to the men from Trillick who will go off now to represent us on the Ulster Senior Football Championship programme. Of course, the intermediate programme and the junior programme begins next weekend, and our good luck to all the Tyrone teams that are involved in that. Until next time, folks, a very good evening to you.